Welcome back to Politics Tonight, and I still have with me the spokesperson of the APC Campaign Council and Commissioner for Finance in Kwara State, Florence Oyeyemi, for discussing politics in the North Central State. All right, in the build-up to the APC presidential campaign on Tuesday in Kwara State, the opposition PDP accused your government of rushing to complete some projects for the president to inaugurate. How will you react to this?
Okay, so one thing that the PDP government have been known for, even while they were in government and now that they're out of government, is propaganda. They're just trying to put out a sensational news to attract people to them. I would say that since the time they came on board, since the time they came into power or came into the race to actually have a gubernatorial candidate, which I feel they shouldn't even have bothered about. They've just been trying to come up with sensational news around what we're doing and coming up with propaganda about why we're not doing it well when they have not been able to, when they were unable to achieve anything during their time. Now you now move forward to just wonder what exactly is their aim. Their aim is simply just to distract the people because there's no time they have not told the people at one time what they intend to do for the people. What they're just saying is, oh, APC is doing this and they are doing this, they have done this, they have not commissioned the project. His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak is investing majorly, massively in infrastructural development that is not just for today, but it's something that will create a sustainable income for the people and will also open doors of other opportunities that we will never forget. Now, looking at all of these things, these are not things that you will just sit around and rush. Looking at it, when you come up with a project, before you invest in a project, you would have done your feasibility studies, you will do your bill of quantity, you do all the procurement process, you fulfill all the procurement process. And having fulfilled all the procurement process, when you look at this procurement process, you will know that this projects are time and they're time bound. But we'll also give allowances to some mishap or challenges or factors that will deter us from meeting up with the deadline. One of those factors will be like the COVID-19 pandemic, because throughout the period when we were on lockdown, no work was going. So all of these things were on standstill. Now, looking back at that, why would they just wake up one morning and the next thing they're going to say is, oh, they're trying to rush the project because the president is coming so that he can commission? The president will definitely come and commission the project in Kwara. So they don't need to be jittery. They're not supposed to be worried because the president will definitely be in Kwara in no sooner days to come and commission all of this project. And they will be amazed to see how well this project will not only drive revenue for the state, but also open room for foreign direct investment and in turn create job opportunities, not for only our children, not just for the people of Kwara, but their own people as well. So they should relax and they should stop with the propaganda.
All right. How would you describe the APC presidential campaign in Kwara State?
Well, the APC presidential campaign in Kwara State can be likened to that in Kano. And we're so happy that the people are not just calling us to continue the good works, but they are out there to support us to ensure that we'll achieve it from top to bottom, bottom to top. So you will see that the people of Kwara are not only concerned about the emergence of His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak for second term, but they are also concerned about the renewed hope agenda of the presidential candidate of APC and Shiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they are liking the two together and they're willing and they're ready to support from top to bottom, bottom to top, to ensure that APC is Kwara, Kwara is APC, and come 2023 general elections, inshallah, His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak will not only be backing for second term, but all of our House of Assembly seats, all of our National Assembly seats, and also our presidential seat will be won by APC.
Okay, yeah, President Buhari was billed to attend the campaign, but eventually did not. And I remember a few minutes ago, you said you were very affirmative that he will come. So when will that be?
So because I'm not privy to the calendar of Mr. President, so I would not be able to tell you the exact date when it will be in Kwara State Commission project, but I'm very sure that it will soon be in Kwara because he really wanted to be in Kwara for the presidential rally first, but also come to commission all the laudable projects that His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak has embarked upon since his emergence as the governor of Kwara State.
All right. So what would you say stands APC presidential candidate out among other contenders for the presidency?
Okay, so one major thing that I see that I would say stand the presidential candidate out is the fact that when people are saying follow person with Sabi Road, following person with Sabi Road, it is not by the word of mouth. It's by actual evidence and evidential representation of what has been achieved. When you look at Lagos State, for example, Lagos State can be likened to the entire federal government. There had been governors before Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There had been governors before him. But day in, every time when people need to make a recourse or make a comparison to Lagos State, they talk about the achievements of Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his time as the governor of Lagos State. When you look at this achievement in Lagos State, it is invariably normal, or it's also variably normal for you to believe that someone who has done it in a state that had no order, and it could put a major order in the state that is still standing test of time, that even till date, we could still see the footprints of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos State. It is just evidential that this is just who deserves to be the president of Nigeria after the 2023 general election, because he has done it. We have the evidence. He has the experience. He has the capacity, and he is committed to the people of Nigeria. And he sees this as a yearning to move Nigeria forward. And since he sees this as his own commitment to move Nigeria forward, he's solely committed to it, and he has the right people around him, because the running of an administration is not just a game of one person. It's a game of a leader that can work with lots of more to achieve his mandate. And he has these people around him. And these people that he has is not going to leave them to, he's not going to run the show alone. He's going to run it with them to ensure that we have the Nigeria we all dream to have, and also to consolidate on the achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari. Those are some of the things that I feel that we should have Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of Nigeria from 2020 after 2023 or for 2023 general elections.
All right. You are a finance commissioner in Kwara State. How will you describe Tinubu's economic blueprint for Nigeria?
Okay, so having looked at his manifesto, his Renewed Hope manifesto, you would see that some of the things that he had enlisted as some of his economic footprints for Nigeria, as some of the things that he had seen, having been in the private world and having been in the private business world, he understands the modalities of economic backing. He understands the features behind, the parameters behind any economic backing. So most times we just say, oh, we want this, Nigeria is rich, Nigeria is poor, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. But there are so many things that need to be put in place. These are the backdrop of what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is looking at. And looking at the fact of Lagos State, during his time as the governor of Lagos State, it was not even accessing the federal allocation for a very long period during that reign, but he did his best and he committed his best. He came up with new policies. He came up with new designs. He came up with new programs. He came up with innovative ideas that will generate revenue for Lagos State. And they are still gaining from that till date. So he has it. He has it in it because he has done it before and he's ready to do. He's fully ready to also discharge what he has done before for the people of Nigeria. And because he has done it, the economic footprints are there, and he also has the right network of people that will help him achieve excellence in that which he has put in his front.
Now, let's talk about women in politics. Women participation in governance and politics is still a long call in Nigeria. What are those factors inhibiting this?
Okay, so for women in politics, I am excited because I am a commissioner in Kwara, and I'm the first female commissioner in Kwara. And we have a large number of women representation in political appointees in Kwara. And we also have a good number of women who are vying for the post of the House of Assembly in Kwara for the 2023 general elections. So in Kwara, these are some of the achievements of His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak that I should have mentioned as first, because of his women empowerment program, because he has really empowered we women to actually be all that we want to be the best that we have to be in the political setting. And we're representing and doing our best to ensure that women are fully represented. For most times when people ask me about my challenges as a woman, I look at my challenges as me representing two demographics. One is me being a youth, I can still call myself that, and the second being a woman. And I have to prove to the people, to let them know that a woman can do this and do this well. A young person can do this and do this well. And these are some of the commitment that His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak has brought into Kwara. Women empowerment, we need to have the right leaders that will see the effect and the capacity of women being in position, and the capacity of having women in position and seeing how they drive the system is something that it has to be a leader thing. And because the APC party recognizes the impact and the importance of women in politics and women in power, women in political sittings, it is important that we just allow APC to continue from top to bottom, because they've actually empowered women and they've put women in the right position. And also in Kwara, we have the gender composition bill. When you look at this gender composition bill, it has mandated any government coming in, even after we leave in 2027, inshallah, because we're coming back, that's for certain. After we leave, it has mandated, it has ensured that the government that will come in after us, they will also put into perspective the gender composition, the right gender representation in it. But when we now talk about, that's for political appointment, when we now talk about elective position, in as much as we call that, oh, we want women to be there, we want women to be fully represented, we want women, it takes a whole lot. It's a lot of work, and it's a sacrifice that women will have to make, because the movement for elective position is different from political appointment. When you move for elective position, it's a rigorous task. It is not easy. And because it is not easy, the woman that is vying for a position needs to understand that is not going to be a meal that will be handed over. It is something that a woman must work for. So you must have the right connect. You have to have the right network. You have to run your programs and your projects without sentiment, knowing that you can identify people with capacity that will run the job for you, that will do your campaign for you, that will be with you during your rally, that will help you identify. Because, every election, every politics is local, every politics is grassroots centered. But sometimes when you look at women in power, women in position, they might be here, they might be at a high step, not understanding that there is a need for you to actually be at the grassroots, for you to relate with people at the grassroots. And also, when you look at the time when we were even doing our own primaries, we ensured that we had a very good percentage of women being major decision makers in ensuring that the right candidate emerges for the party. And when you look at our financial inclusion program in Kwara State, you will see that in our own state, His Excellency is so concerned, is so particular about the women, and he has given us every enablement that would require us to actually stay afloat, to actually stay the best, and to actually represent the women folks as much as we want. So some of the empowerment program, apart from ensuring that women are in position, are the programs like the Warudo Owoishowo. The Owoishowo was targeted at women petty traders across the 16 local government. So when you look at this, this is empowering women to actually make decisions for themselves, to actually stand for themselves, to actually represent themselves, to actually speak in the gathering and not be shut down. I'm a commissioner for finance, and thankfully, I'm also the campaign spokesperson, the gubernatorial campaign spokesperson. Being in this position already attracts the attention that women need, because you can see that a woman is doing it and is doing it well. Then a woman can do it again. And for everybody watching us tonight and knowing that this is what is happening in Kwara State, let us also implement similar. Let us implement something similar in our state. This is something that the woman needs to be empowered. They need to be strategically placed in position whereby they can speak, for one, for their ward, they can speak for their local government before they start speaking for the state. I am in the cabinet and I'm representing a local government. And in my local government, I am a major elder, I'm a major stakeholder in my local government, and no decision is going to be made in that local government without them consulting me. I am a woman, and every woman can also do once they have the right enablement. So I can only
All
urge
right.
that, I can only give a word of advice that other states, they should kindly emulate what His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak has done in Kwara State in terms of women empowerment, so that women in politics will grow stronger than what it is today.
All right, great. But then, there are still a lot of factors. There is no doubt that women are still limited due to a lot of factors. So what then can be done to enable more participation, women participation in governance and politics?
Okay, so as I said, so in Kwara, we have a gender composition bill. In gender composition bill, this is to ensure that every political appointment have a very equal, a major percent, I think 35% women representation in every political appointment across the state. Now, for women being in politics, so we now go into the elective. We talk about the support that women need. And I think this party, APC, has done it well. During the primaries, when they were selling form for interested aspirants, you see that they slashed that of the women by 50%. This is something that was done by the APC. So this that was done by the APC to show you that APC is actually encouraging more women participation in politics. And also, when you look at it, it's actually a thing more of a commitment than what other people can do. There are some factors that will inhibit women. I know, I would say, because right now I have kids, and this is almost 9, and I am not home yet. I'm still in my office. These are some of the sacrifices that come with the job, and you have to measure up. I'll use my own story as an example. During my time as a commissioner for finance, I got pregnant and I had a baby. And it did not deter me from fulfilling my role as the commissioner for finance in the state, because these are some of the things that women need to understand. Because when you want to be in power, in as much as we say we want more women in power, want more women in politics, we want them to take in elective position, the women should also understand that it comes with a level of sacrifice. And because the men are there, I don't always want things to be handed over to women on a platter of gold because we are women. Because when we're talking about gender equality, we would have to be equal in every sense of it. That means whatever a man is doing, we're also running it up. I don't want to be a woman and say, oh, because I'm a woman, it's happening in one local government, I cannot be there because I am a woman. You have to ensure that this is a sacrifice, because you have to give it for you to take it. So it is important that women in politics understand that there are factors that will inhibit them. We have the social factors, such as the family. We have the finance, the capital factor, finances of running. There are processes to these things. And thank God for different programs, one under the WIMBIS that is supporting women that are in politics to actually vie and give them capital support. We have there was one that there's women Also, there's an Elect-R program as well that was done. So if others across the state replicate or emulate what the APC is doing presently and what Kwara State is doing presently, Nigerian women will be able to fully participate because they know they will be duly recognized. But it is important for us to also know, like that's to start from one point. I would tell every woman to first identify their ward. They should identify the ward they come from because every election is local. And because every election, you have to start from the ward. From the ward, then you know your local government. You understand the modalities of the workings of every local government politically. Because this is a game. You have to understand the modalities. You have to understand the workings. You have to understand if something is being zoned. You have to understand if it's coming to my turn. You have to plan this way ahead. Now we're speaking for this now. If anybody wants to come out for opposition in 2027, it is right for them to participate fully in campaign activities today, from now, so that they will start to be recognized. Pending the time positions are available, then you can call for it and it gets to you. So there are several factors that's the family factor, the capital factor, the social factor. But because I am not privy to that, that's not happening to me because my governor is an he for she governor, and he has actually empowered women, has actually put us in position whereby we're representing every woman. So even all the women in Kwara are for us because they know that if this can happen to a woman, to a young woman, it can also happen to my child. So it is important that all other governments across the country, they can emulate what APC is doing, what Kwara State is doing. Look at some of the gender composition bill. Ensure that we have more women representation and support them so that they can achieve what they plan to achieve.
All right, fantastic. All right, in a few seconds, what are your parting shots to the people of Kwara State?
Okay, so my passing notice to people of Kwara State is first to appreciate them for their support to our administration, to the administration under the leadership of Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, and for calling us to continue with the good work. And we're ready to deliver more and to give them more than what we had given them during our first 4 years. Also, we are also committed to ensure that the lives of every child of Kwara is better. We're also committed to running a sustainable, progressive Kwara. We're committed to that. And also, we also want to tell them, as much as they've actually spoken to us, they've told us that we should continue with the good work. It is important that they have their PVC, because the PVC is their power, is their right. And nobody should get their PVC from them because their PVC is their power, is their ticket to the future that we want tomorrow. And with their PVC, they should vote for APC, top to bottom, bottom to top.
All right, then. I must say it has been interesting. Wonderful time having you on the show today. Florence Oyeyemi is the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress APC Campaign Council and Commissioner for Finance in Kwara State. Thank you very much for coming on Politics Tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well done.